Apparently the Chaos Gods are going to be witnessing us this day. Not me and you, but the Chaos Sorcerer and his myriad heretics, and apparently some Chaos Space Marines. Sanya is going to be the Chaos Sorcerer today, allied with KAF on the Warlock, versus Soul Reaver with an Inquisitor, and Kufex with a Chaos Lord. So the Inquisitor here going to be rather fittingly laning against the Sorcerer, since it is an Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor. Makes sense. But you never know, might require some Ordo Malleus. But they're not going to get the help from any Ordo Malleus, so hopefully they can handle it over here. Got a root for the IG in this case. We'll see. I mean, they've gone 2 guardsmen, so, you know, I'm already feeling good about the IG. And not a dirty Catechan Stormtrooper cheeser. As for Kufex, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing here. Must have seen an unholy relic on the floor that they were adamant to scrutinise. But KAF trying to stall, I guess. Working quite effectively. Heretic's going to come in here and zone. Well, actually, with 2 heretics, you don't need to zone. Oh, I did actually forget about the Destructor, but he dodged it quite well, actually. I'm not sure if both those heretics committed to the melee and a Destructor went in. I don't really think it would have done that much, to be honest, because I feel like these are so many models, it would have split them up quite a lot. And this looks pretty bad for the Warlock, actually. CSM melee and retreat. And then, yep, the inevitable Corn Worship for the chase, and that's a dead Warlock. Overextension by KAF. And now, the Guardians are in a pretty bad spot as well. I would have just stayed still and kept shooting. More chance of bleeding them, because now they can retreat. Okay, they didn't retreat instantly anyway. So, pretty poor play there at the start from KAF. Meanwhile, the Inquisitor getting stuck in with some heretics. Pretty good for her. Easy XP early on. And we did see a double CSM build from Sanya, which is pretty common when you're facing the IG in team games. You do want those double CSM, unlike heretics. They don't bleed quite so easily when you're getting shot by a sentinel, which is nice. Though these guys will have to be somewhat careful. They're currently partially revealed, which gives them 20% DR against ranged, which helps. And they kind of need it because they're not in cover. Nice dodge of the Doom Bolts there. And some CSM were rotating over from Kufex. But a bit caught out here. Yeah, they're going to get into melee with the Banshees, which is not where they want to be. Can the Banshees get a model though? No, it doesn't look like it. Sad times. Sad times for KAF. Here comes some Catechan Devils. Kind of have to go for these because you need infiltration. But Havocs / Noise Marines will be a decent counter. Heretics need to be very careful. Got to remember Hammer of the Witch is here, so if that Plasma Pistol killed one of the models, Hammer of the Witches can kill the other. It was a bit of a bait here, trying to bait the Inquisitor into the Havoc, but she managed to turn around at the correct time. There is a flank from a Chaos Lord, but yeah, with the covering fire of the CSM here and the fact that there's still a Shuriken in play, that Chaos Lord is not going to be able to commit to that fight. How's KAF doing over here? Looks like the Sorcerer went in and got the revive, but he's going to lose the Warlock again. Maybe. Can he get a swing? Oh, no. One more swing from that AC would have been the end of that. But he gets out. Decent job there by Sanya for that rotation. Should be able to easily handle the Inquisitor with the CSM and the Havoc together. Sentinel doing what it does best, tanking in the mid. Tanking set up team fire whilst decapping. What a pain it is. Second Shuriken coming up. Nothing too unusual there. Let's look at the gens. 2 gens, 2 gens. And pretty much the same. 3 and 1, so 4 gens each side. So they're at pretty much parity right now. We're getting some quite large builds though in tier 1 from the red team. Catechans plus spotters with the 2 guardsmen. Inquisitor did fall over here, committing too hard to try and type the Havoc, I guess, and now getting punished for it. And the Chaos Lord is down over here as well, so that's unfortunate for the red team. No easy revives. This shouldn't be too difficult of a revive. On a big timing push, it should be easy to get in and grab it, but obviously Kufex is down, so that's a bit unfortunate. I think, well, Yeah, they're both really needing the wreck, and the other thing is they've just lost this gen and node here, so they need to expend requisition to get that back. So red team kind of hurt quite a lot really by those losses of the heroes. Soul Reaver did in the end purchase his Inquisitor again, but it feels bad. Unfortunate to not have a grenade there. I'm not sure if it'd kill it because of the AC. Probably not. I don't know though. Doombolts just can't seem to land clean. It's a bit unfortunate. Wow, smoke from the spotters there, completely shutting down the Havoc, and a little bit of a poor reaction from our boy Sanya. But we're talking about poor reactions, we just lost the Kadashans as well. So what can you do? They're both committing hard to these engagements and throwing vital units away. Say losing the Kadashans is a bigger deal than losing the Havoc. Oh, we see teleporting armor on the CS, fair enough. I mean, it's got utility, I'm not sure it's that important. You know, no setup teams on the enemy side, but scaling into tier 2 it'll be good, and it gives you the mobility to hop over this cliff, not have to run all the way around, which is quite nice. Hopping over here, can hop over here, get the natural, hop over here, grab this easier. So the mobility aspect of it I can see, and then in tier 2 when you start teleporting your sorcerer around, then you can use the warp global to teleport your Havoc or Plague Marines into some pretty good positions for taking out enemy vehicles, so it scales well in that regard. The only thing is, usually against IG, you'd rather get the Rod of Warp Fire and the Demon Armor for the extra energy, and then spam Warp Fire plus Doom Bolts and drop Demon Shield for damage resistance against ranged on your own blob. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you'd probably want the Demon Armor if you're not fighting AV, basically. Rather, you're not fighting a vehicle, you don't need AV. But Soul Reaver going with the 2 Guardsmen might suggest he might go for a more traditional IG build, something like a Chimera, in which case this teleporting armor could be quite useful. We'll see. When it does this though, just teleporting straight into the IG blob on its own, not very effective. Easily countered there by the Sentinel Stomp. A big chaos push here, they're pushing right into the face of the Shuriken because he knows it's layered. There's actually triple Shurikens for KAF right now, he's even lost his Guardians. Which, yeah, it's going to shut down this Raptor play in tier 1, that's for sure. But is it going to scale? We'll see. It means no vehicles for KAF really in tier 2, he's got no repair support at all. I mean, Wraithflord technically does heal itself slowly over time. If you're in tier 3 it would work very effectively. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. Soul Reaver not replacing the gens here. He has got to tier 2 quite quickly. Let's see, he's ready. Might go for a Banewolf. Surely a Banewolf. Yeah, it's got to be 175 red, right? Wow, he's saving for Ogrins? What? Ogrins versus the Sorcerer. That is insane. You can just pick up the Robes of Torment, drop the Chains of Torment to immobilize these guys and melt them with double Zinch Chaos Space Marines. Not to mention, you know, you've lost your spotters as well. Oh my god, I didn't realize he's lost his spotters, so he doesn't even have a counter to the Havocs anymore. What? You could get the Inquisitorial Mandate for the invulnerability and the speed boost and just charge his Inquisitor into the Havocs and then have the Ogrins follow up, but it doesn't feel good, man. That doesn't feel strong. I would have gone for a Banewolf. Of course, we know that he's ahead in tech. These players obviously don't know that in game. He mustn't think he's ahead in tech, or surely he would go for the Banewolf and not the Ogrins. But hey, we've got some parity here because KAF's getting wrecked on this side, and Soul Reaver's not doing particularly well over here. There is a bit of a flank, well, I mean a major flank from triple Shurikens, but it's soon to be 2 Shurikens if the Blood Crusher refocuses that Shuriken after charging it, and he does. There you go, Shuriken down, back to 2 Shurikens for KAF. Can I claim this model? Ooh, wow, whoa, wow, I didn't even realise that was an enemy Sentinel, fucking hell. I'm getting so confused because the Sentinel's right behind them. Sentinels just go where they want, where they please. There you go, 1 Shuriken for KAF, he's going to replace it. Yeah, I mean, he kind of needs two, because he needs one shuriken to control all these heretics, and then another one for a Bright Lance to kill the actual Blood Crusher. But easier said than done, killing the Blood Crusher with one source of AV, not ideal. He doesn't have any upgrades on his Banshees, which is bizarre. Not even an aspect. So there's no heavy melee there. He's got Wraith Guard, but really a Blood Crusher is a good counter to the Wraith Guard, in all fairness. And Soul Reaver unfortunately just cannot keep the gens up. I mean, he got the Ogrins out and they didn't even do anything. We're not even fighting Mark of Zenith yet. I guess it was the Shurikens that sort of forced them off. But we've still got the Havoc in the back. I say that Frag Missiles would be good because they've countered the Havoc, but the problem is you're just opening yourself up to Mark of Zenith even more then. Because Mark of Zenith is so good against the Ogrins. As well as the Sentinel. Fucking hell, Blood Crusher kills another Shuriken there with a charge. KAF really, really slow in his reactions here. Very, very slow. As soon as you see that Blood Crusher charging in, you just need to hit X if it's charging in a straight line towards your Shuriken. You know what's going to happen. Oh, big bleed there on the Ogrins. Was that the Bonehead? Yep, lost the Bonehead as the first model. Quite a shame, but we do now have the Guardsmen both upgraded with plasma guns. That will put a bit of pressure onto the CSM, who have now got their aspiring champions. Not sure what the hell that retreat was all about. Oh man, what the fuck, Kufex? He just messed it up hard for his teammate. The Raptors could have easily gone into melee with his CSM. They're not Corn Marines, they're just default. They would have been very survivable, and then the Sentinel could have finished off the Blood Crusher. Or wait, what? I'm confused. Did the Blood Crusher die? I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm half asleep right now. Anyhow. What's the plan, guys? I mean, Soul's got a pretty good amount of resources here. Hurt by having to replace the Bonehead. If only they could maintain power over here, they'd be in a beautiful spot. Here are the double Zenith Marines for Sanya. Ogrin's getting controlled here beautifully, and we did swap to the Rod of Warpfire. See the Doombolt damage is pretty serious. Wow, Ogrin's just charging into the face of this? I don't know, man. I mean, Hell Fury, yeah, is going to be enough spike damage to force them off. Okay. Well, it's working. But how have they not lost models? And they get a special. Wow. Wow. Is that demonic summoning? What the fuck was that? Was that an attempt to teleport or something? I'm really confused. And then they end up losing the Bonehead again and 2 models. God, that's so expensive for Soul Reaver. That stops him getting to tier 3 and he was so close. You know the tier 3 for IG is so strong with Lehman Russ and Kassakin. So really a big misplay there. Yes, he forced off most of the enemy forces. But is it worth it? He's not even gaining map control because he can't get rid of this damn sorcerer. And now he's having to commit to Stormtroopers. Yeah, that's not worth it whatsoever. Now he's going to be stuck in tier 2 for a very long time. And that was the opportunity for the red team to get ahead in tech. You know, Kufex is doing well on this side against KAF, so there's ample opportunity. Even if this farm is lost, you could consider building gens in the centre. And of course, when you get your Lehman Russ Kassakin combo out as the IG, these enemies are going to be in real trouble because the whole time there's only been 2 gens down here, and this farm hasn't been maintained at all by KAF. So you kind of know, the red team, that your enemies aren't that far ahead in tech because they've not had their gen farm down here. Kufex has kept that well under control. So a big strategic error there from Soul Reaver. Kind of missed his opportunity really to close out this game, I think, right there and then. I think that would have been it if he just went tier 3 and didn't commit so hard with his Ogrins and end up paying shitloads to reinforce them. Fire Dragon's another choice from KAF, a versatile unit, decent against pretty much everything. Which is nice when you're facing varied threats like a Chaos Lord with Commander Armour, Plague Marines with a shitload of light infantry armour, CSM with heavy infantry armour, and a Blood Crusher with vehicle armour. So I don't dislike the Fire Dragon choice. But it's risky because you always bleed with these units. So you've got to be careful about how much you commit them in. Should be doing some pretty good damage to the Ogrins here. You got the suppression down. There's the double Siege Marines firing in. But here comes a grenade. Going to disrupt the Havocs, but a bit too late really. Guardsmen get pinned down. Sorcerer needs to get out of there though. He's so low on HP. What's the point? What is the point of keeping him in play? I'm not sure. He does do okay range damage with the Rod of Warp Fire. Does it tell me how much? 35, so it's kind of like a default Tech Marine. But keeping him in play for that level of DPS seems a bit crazy to me. Especially with Assault Kit Stormtroopers going around with their burst damage. They could kill him very fast. So they're attempting to get into play, get another decent ranged attack off. But here comes the Focus Fire, and he's going to drop. Well, that was fucking predictable, wasn't it? Reactions, though, very slow from Soul Reaver again. God, both of these guys bleeding like mad. These players are just committed to fighting relentlessly. Yeah, Wraith Guard going to go down. I'm really not sure how the Wraith Guard ended up so far forward with CSM, Blood Crusher on their ass, and Plague Marines in retreat. Like, what? Why were the Wraith Guard of all things so far forward? And we know Wraith Guard are very vulnerable to melee attacks. I have to say, guys, not a very good performance from KAF this time around. It must be one of his poorer games. I've seen him play okay at times. It is his main, the Warlock, but maybe he was 12 games deep right now, and he, you know, he's lost it. He's lost it. Speaking of losing things, he just loses the Banshees as well. Fucking hell. CSM got to get out of here, man. Double Siege Marines and Fire Dragons, that's a lot of damage to heavy infantry. That was a waste of a Dark Flames. Come on. What the hell was that? And a primary Psyker for Soul Reaver as well. Christ almighty, Soul Reaver really, really doesn't want to go tier 3. Just doesn't want to do it. He just doesn't want it. Why? Don't understand. These players not even play team games? We all play team games to get tier 3 and get big armies, right? All those crazy units that you never even can see in a 1v1. You can see them in a team game. But no, not Soul Reaver. Not interested. Again, I don't know what KAF is really pushing for there, and he ends up losing 3 models. He moves up and he sees that there's this massive horde of anti-heavy infantry DPS coming his way, and there's no gens to bash. Just instantly retreat. Why is it necessary to lose triple Fire Dragons right there? And he's now gone double Fire Dragons. What the heck? But unfortunately for Kufex, losing that unit there, what's he looking at? I don't know. Yeah. Late on his rat to jump. I mean, he's fighting against double Fire Dragons. I think the utility of the Blood Crusher would dissipate quite quickly at this point of the game anyway, so probably not that big of a loss. The thing is, though, even in team games, you can keep those light vehicles quite relevant by having them guard your actual VP. Then something like the Chaos Lord, you know, any hero really. Most heroes who don't have like heavy melee weapons. What? An Abyss? That didn't kill anything because it wasn't on retreat. You've got to use the Abyss on retreat, guys. Honestly. Because then it can't be dodged. If you just drop an Abyss on an enemy army, they just hit Alt X and retreat out of it. No problem. But if you drop it on retreat, especially on this map, look how small this area is here. It's quite easy to predict whether you put it here or here, and it will potentially give the entire force. Same if you put it like here, as the enemy armies here, they're all going to retreat straight through it, and they're going to get wrecked by that central mass that does 200 heavy melee DPS. Just realised the VP lead here for the blue team is absolutely colossal. But their armies are looking weird. Why the heck Sanya has triple Havocs right now, I am not sure. Triple Havocs and double Siege Marines. Wow, that is a noob build if I ever seen one. What the heck, Sanya? Look at the primary psycho damage against the Havoc there in cover. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Forces it off. I mean, the Ogrins are tanking. They're tanking miraculously. We didn't really see the Inquisitor do too much. You know what could be quite good here, given the Heretics have died silently on the Inquisitor to infiltrate these Ogrins. Because somehow Sanya's having a difficult time actually killing the Ogrins, as much as I've shit-talked them and as much as they have ruined the economy of Soul Reaver. They are now level 3, and with a lot of XP too, so... yeah, damn, that's pretty fearsome. Chaos Terminator's in play. Yeah, so Kufex managed to sneak off to tier 3. Still no gens down here, but more importantly, no gens down here, so no gens here. Oh wait, there's no gens here, there's no gens anywhere! I thought these guys still had their gens. Must have got bashed by fire dragons out of the gate at some point. That's one of the good things about fire dragons. Good god, do they bash quick. Melter does pretty good damage against gens anyway. And remember, the Exarch on the fire dragons can drop to that, swap to that Dragon's Fury Flamer as well, which is even more gen bashing potential. So they're pretty legit at the gen bashes. I really don't like these dark flames from Sanya. Terrifying visions from the Psyker suppress those CSM, because you know CSM are just that cowardly. They start hallucinating that they have to get a shower. And that's it, they're suppressed in fear. And that was a nice pickup actually. I didn't even comment on it with a grenade. I mean, Stormtroopers, Assault Kit Stormtroopers are just crazy, man. They really are. They're such an annoying squad to deal with. If you don't have Raptors, you don't have Corn Marines, it feels just awful trying to deal with these guys. Infiltrating in and fragging your damn setup team. But, I mean, why has Sanya got triple Havoc? You know, why did he go for that? It's highly questionable. Again, he should have been going tier 3. KAF now has Dark Reapers. I mean, yeah, to kill Terminators, I guess, but, you know, it's a tier 2 unit. Good luck, mate. Good luck. Yeah, with an auto-cannon Terminator to fight. Well, let's see how this goes. Lovely Terminator counter. Yeah, see you fucking later, stupid Eldari scum. Dark Reapers do need a rework to be a tier 3 unit, because the thing is, they are designed originally. The whole idea was to give Eldar the capability to defeat Terminators whilst in tier 2, but this was in a time when the Walker meta wasn't as strong, Wraith Lords weren't as good. Now that Walkers are better, and certainly in 1v1 you can often win games by just spamming triple Wraith Lord. You've got Fire Dragons for more AV utility. I think you're fine. You know, Wraith Lord Banshees, they can handle Terminators. You don't need this squad. The problem with the Dark Reapers is if you make them stronger, such that they are a serious threat to the Chaos Terminators, then they're simply too good against everything that isn't Terminators in tier 2. And therefore the unit isn't really appropriate for tier 2. It would be much better if they were a stronger elite squad like the Flash Gits or the Kassakin, and they were in tier 3. Obviously they still lose a 1v1 against Terminators, of course they would. They're way cheaper, even in tier 3. They'd be cheaper, but unlike Terminators, they'd be able to retreat, so they'd still be a decent quote-unquote counter in terms of cost and combat effectiveness. Let's see, can the Makazine get some bleed in here? I think, yeah, they're trying to get the Ogrins down, but they're struggling. Raptors, though, struggling to suppress them. There you go. Raptors gone, helped with the bloodletters that were called in by the global there. Yeah, wow, red team, fend them off quite easily. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of ranged DPS in the back lines that was really just uncontested, free to fire away because of the Ogrins tanking and the Raptors. Raptors doing quite well from Kufex, level 4. The really nice thing about them is, as well, super late game, if you're fighting, you know, Great and Clean Ones, Avatars, Fire Prisms, you can give them Melter Guns and they're pretty damn good. They'll make Fire Prisms really suffer. And Melter does the bonus against Super Heavy Infantry and you get a melter bomb. So yeah, they're really good actually against the big super heavy infantry melee super units too. So great unit for Kufex. Scales well for his comp. I mean, the problem right now for the red team is they're down to only 22 VPs. How did they let the middle go? Wow. Major tactical error here. So not only did they open this up, because they've obviously not realized the gate was there, but they won that big engagement in the mid, and then Kufex for some reason dedicated his entire army to flanking around here. We didn't really send his entire army. So then blue team managed to decap the middle. Yeah, Terminators better get their ass moving. There's a lot of anti-Terminator DPS right now, and they're just obviously drastically outnumbered. Drastically outnumbered. Here come the AKST once again. Boom. Grenade. Oh, not onto the actual lead model of the Havoc, which is a bit weird. But telekinetic dome goes down, which protects the units inside from ranged DPS, which will help the Ogryns close in with relative ease. Have they handled this side? Yep, they're taking out the webway gate. The Autark is trying to do her best to delay this. She should win the fight, I guess. No, she's not going to win. Wow. Yeah, she's squishy, isn't she? Oh, these are level 4 heretics. Holy shit. Yeah, so she can't even proc a special while she's fighting the AC, which is a bit sad. What's she doing, though? I was going to say, like, she needs to retreat, but she stood next to that VP for so long she might have even got a decap at that point. But not with all this deliberation. Lightning claws seem quite pointless. I mean, I guess against this heavy infantry Eldari troops, the lightning claw power melee is nice, but it's not really very good, that weapon, against units that flee from you, because it attacks really quick, which makes it great in melee because you proc loads of specials. And it's also great synergy with the accessory Icon of Corn, which heals based on the amount of attacks you do, because it attacks so fast. But weapons that attack really fast are really bad against units that flee from you, because you're not actually given the opportunity to do your DPS. Because you only get one slap, you know, and then they run away. And you've got to wait before you can slap again. So you want weapons that take ages to slap, but do more damage per slap, than weapons that do less damage per slap, but slap very often. That is 200 requisition and 50 power, so, you know, is that really worth it as opposed to getting a tank or a super unit? Obviously a super unit would not be something we'd be going for right now because there's 7 VPs left for the red team. So, big push from KAF over this side. Terminator's loitering in the middle, so at least the middle will be protected, but I was going to say, you are playing the Warlock, you've got Distort Field as an option to take over points without dying to range fire, basically. You've also got the Cloak of Shadows, which does something similar, and I think they stack multiplicatively at the moment. They used to stack such that you'd actually get immunity if you use Cloak of Shadows plus Distort Field, which is pretty keck. In tier 3 you'd have the actual invulnerability armor, which is great for it, but obviously blue team are not tier 3. And as far as this is concerned, looking like the Raptors here are actually going to finish the job. I'm going to deal with the Plasma Guardsman for now.
We soar on wings of fire.
Here's an Executioner Lehman Russ, though. Psycho's going to get the cap. Wow. Uses his little shockwave ability on himself there. Obviously that is an AoE ability, so not really doing too much damage to the single entity Psycho. Forces off the Raptors pretty good because he did get the cap, so it is now a 2-0 cap. KAF is going back up this side, but he is being forced off, and the Plague Marines take it. I mean, Autark can probably just cap the point right now, but they're not going for it. Weird. Bloodlust has been activated. Double Dark Reapers. Getting shut down by the Raptors, kind of. Raptors not actually timing melee. Whoa, fucking hell. That damage on the Raptors because of the Bloodlust and level 4. Damn, they melted those Fire Dragons. Holy shit. And yeah, that's going to be the victory for the red team with 7 VPs left. Pretty sloppy one all around, to be honest. I really don't think they needed to go down to 7 VPs. That was kind of crazy. A lot of strange opportunities they gave the enemy. Like when they moved away from the middle VP after this big fight here, and just let them come in and decap it. I mean, you're pushing it close with 7 VPs, man. God. Yeah, rocket run for the IG, but it doesn't matter. There's no time. They'd have to get on 2 VPs, which is not possible. Well, folks, there you go.
This failure shall not be soon forgotten.
I ain't got much more to say. That was an early morning Torpid cast. I gotta get to work. Peace. Torpid out.